Some Louisville attorneys say they want to clear the air in the Hall of Justice, literally. Petitions are being circulated asking most of the Hall of Justice to become a no-smoking area. Right now, the only place where people can't smoke is in the courtrooms. Attorney Katie Brophy is getting people to sign the petitions. She says some days the smoke is so bad it gives her headaches.
And that's true for a lot of people that are there. And there are a lot of young kids that are down there. There are elderly people. There are people with breathing problems. And they can't leave. It's not like going out to some sort of social event.
Brophy is hoping she can get 500 people to sign the petition.
Are you or a friend thinking about quitting smoking? If so, Dr. Dina Dell has new information on the nicotine patch.
Tobacco corporations spend billions of dollars selling a highly addictive drug. And that has spawned a companion industry, one devoted to kicking the habit. Smokers will spend $500 million this year trying the latest weapon, the nicotine patch. It delivers the nicotine hit without the cancer-causing smoke. Doctors now say the key to quitting smoking is getting a smoker who's trying to quit through a crisis, the so-called nic fit. They reach for a cigarette, they've lost the battle. Just a single lapse usually turns an ex-smoker back into a smoker. Well, it turns out the patch is no match for the real thing. When you need a hit of nicotine, putting on a patch just doesn't cut it. Well, doctors are talking about a new way to fool the body. Smokers are used to cigarettes, which deliver nicotine to the brain in 7 to 10 seconds and peak in about 5 minutes. The nicotine patch, meanwhile, takes hours to get into the bloodstream. But somewhere in the middle lies nicotine gum. It starts working in a few minutes and peaks in half an hour. A couple of experimental methods, a nicotine inhaler and a nicotine nasal spray, also work more quickly. In the new report, UCLA doctors say using the patch in combination with gum or one of the experimental methods may be the key to keeping ex-smokers ex-smokers. The gum is available right now. Clinical studies on the inhaler and on the nasal spray are ongoing. Talk to your doctor. I'm Dr. Dina Dell.
And doctors are also looking at ways to treat the symptoms of withdrawal associated with quitting smoking, but so far most studies have had disappointing results. This story may be another disappointment to smokers. Seems McDonald's is considering a smoking ban in all of its nearly 9,000 restaurants. As you know, it's a favorite stop of the president's. However, he has nothing to do with the Ronald McDonald's plan. Since Ronald's Palace test markets everything first, the company is trying out the smoking ban in 2 Maryland restaurants before making a final decision on the policy. Lent is just around.
In tonight's health news, a concern about secondhand cigarette smoke under the Golden Arches.
McDonald's is considering a nationwide ban on smoking in its restaurants. The company is test marketing the idea in about 40 locations. No smoking signs have been posted, and anyone who lights up will be given an ashtray and asked to put out their cigarette. Officials will review the findings of the study very carefully before deciding what to do. McDonald's has 9,000 restaurants across the country.
It's no longer unusual for an American company to adopt a no-smoking policy. Even in one of the nation's top burly tobacco-producing states, scores of Kentucky businesses have adopted smoking restrictions during the past few years. Liz Charlotte reports a recent EPA study may add even more companies to the list.
Plenty of companies and agencies have already instituted no-smoking policies. Some completely ban lighting up. Others restrict where and when. Now a new Environmental Protection Agency report concludes secondhand smoke is responsible for thousands of lung cancer deaths each year.
I think it's going to take a while before there will be any actual cases filed, simply because the history of secondary smoking is so new.
Regardless of their view of secondhand smoke, more companies are expected to ban smoking to protect themselves from non-smoker lawsuits. So far, no cases have been filed in Kentucky.
If and when these suits are filed, that the most likely target will be the employer's place of business.
Gary Huddleston is with the Kentucky Farm Bureau Federation. It represents tobacco farmers throughout the state. They are opposed to banning smoking.
I think there is a movement in that direction. It's fueled by the study, and it's also fueled by legal advice that's a surefire defense.
The American Lung Association says its calls have increased tremendously since the EPA report, most wanting to know how to implement a no-smoking policy. According to the Center for Disease Control, since 1991, 4 out of 10 American companies are now smoke-free. The governor has ordered state agencies to regulate smoking and come up with a policy by July. At the Jefferson County Board of Health and its clinics, local hospitals, and the jail, smoking is banned. The Hall of Justice is currently working on a plan. Corporate policies are in place at GE, Humana, and the Capital Holding Corporation.
What you're doing here is you're penalizing the customers of the industry that basically underpins our state's economy.
Huddleston says it's important to remember, in Kentucky, tobacco is a billion-dollar industry. Liz Charlotte, the News at 10.
An elderly, Shively man